Alright, let's finish Nightcall. I just want to finish it because I have no clue if at midnight they're gonna kick me out of the game. Since I don't own it anymore and it's on the Xbox Game Pass. We're gonna start, like I said, with Herv. Okay. The door opens. It's Herv. He greets you with his bizarre verbal tick as usual. How's it going, Owen? Hey, Herv. You start the engine. Pretty cold tonight, right? His voice has a peculiar lift to it, as if certain syllables were sung to him from stuttering. Hey, aren't you cold with your butt stuck to that car seat of yours? No, I'm fine. Well then enjoy, boy. I've got a place to stay in Passy. Any way you can give me a lift? Sure, of course. Great, mate. That way we stay nice and warm. In the 15 years I've been on the street, it's never been this cold, I swear. You know, some guys aren't gonna make it. I'm not saying it. That's how it goes. For us, yes? A pause. His smell is gradually permeating the inside of the cab. It doesn't bring back fond memories, but it doesn't bother you either. You'll leave the door open later. To air out the cab. But you know, I'm used to it. Even before, sure. I don't think I ever told you. When I was a kid, I was never cold, old. Never. A weird, uneasy break. One time my mother dragged me to Paranis during vacation. Didn't know what the hell to do with me. Liked to drink, you see. And the first night we were there, I broke the bottle of gin she brought along. Should have seen her. Drew a fit. She gave me a thrashing, but I gave as good as I got. That's how we used to talk back then. She ended up dragging me by my pants and locking me out on the balcony. Icicles are hanging from the eaves. It snowed the day before, sure. I sat there for an hour, arms crossed, with like a cardigan on my back, Mac, and underpants on my butt. I didn't budge. She was storming around the apartment. My old lady was yelling at me, but I didn't hear nothing. And well, the cold didn't get me, see? Felt nothing at all, nah. Wish I could say the same today. What happened in the end? Well, it got dark out. She let me in, did. She was furious all week. It was the last time we went on vacation together. After that, she died. Number her up. Yup. A pause. I used to tell my buddy Seb that story all the time. You know, the tall black guy who used to hang out around with me? Yeah? Well, he really loved that story. He asked me to tell it to him over and over again. But I think what he really loved was hearing me talk about my old lady. You know what I mean? Doesn't make us any younger. Hey! The cab pulls up in a shelter in Passy. Damn, the last time I was here, there was a protest out front. A bunch of guys from the neighborhood who didn't want us to squat the place. They were yelling their heads off. Sounded like a bunch of goddamn sailors. Yeah, sailors. So I guess even those rich dudes have balls. He exits the cab. Thanks, man. I know I could count on you. Good luck. He rubs his hand together and walks towards the shelter. Nothing as expected. Oh, it's time. It is time. We are going to see Paul. nobody else. Just me and Paul. Paul Marie Fragonard, yes. Going to St. Louis Hospital as usual. You recognize the next passenger getting in your cab. A cop. The detective. Your suspect. He has a tired look about him, and not just because it's early. His voice drags. The usual place? St. Louis Hospital, then. You start driving. Your passenger seems to have his mind elsewhere. Not entirely awake, stubble on his chin. You scan his skin. His movement, his attitude, It's cold as crap this morning. His voice makes you jump. You nod. You have more people or not as many when it's cold out like this? Folks tend to stay home when it's too cold. There might be more of them, but they make shorter trips. Makes sense. Dead silence. It's worse in summertime, though. People don't take cabs as much. But when they do, they go further. Obviously. You drive in silence for a second. The road goes by. You don't want to look in the side mirrors too often. You haven't seen a trace of the cops yet. Bousset told you not to worry, but... You know, it's funny. Just this morning I was thinking about an old case. One of my first cases, actually. It was just after the Mercerine case. You know who the Mercerine is, don't you? Or am I really that old? He senses the right time to get him to talk. Okay. Okay, am I supposed to pretend so he could talk? Or do I say, yes, I know? Okay, DeBell, nope, never heard of him. I'm gonna say, that rings a bell. Jacques Mesrine, breaking and entering, kidnapping, armed robbery. He killed 2 cops in Canada, tortured a journalist, the far-right one, but still. Then in 1979, after being on the run for a year and a half, the cops catch him and kill him. At Port de Chillincourt. He raises a hand. Now, the cops say it was in self-defense, but I know for a fact they shot him down like a dog. He looks straight at you. You see a hint of underground fire roaring deep in his eyes. Now, I most certainly do not want to die like a dog. Understood? He catches his breath and is clearly shaken. He ever so slowly reaches into his pocket and pulls out his weapon. Oh god. He knows. I got achievement, huh? It is him. Where did Bousset ask you to take me? Bousset? Don't take me for a fool. I mean, he got a gun. But... One more time? Maybe it can ask me again? I swear I have no idea what you're talking about. A gun appears. Shame. I thought I might get a chance at some honesty in this cold world. Just once. Just to see what it feels like. I dedicated my whole life to the justice system. To getting to the truth. At least that's what I tell myself. And what I say to new recruits. But I'm tired of all the games. All the damn lies. Where they ordered you to take me. I'm not gonna lie. It's either tell the truth or they didn't order anything. They didn't order anything. Yeah, right. His voice sounds tired. His hands his weapon. Answer the question. Where? A warehouse. Some old garage. They're waiting for us there. An ambush. I'm no Mesrite, you know. I'm not going to pull a grenade out from under the back seat there. He cuts you off with a groan. He starts speaking again. His voice is chilling. Bousset. You can see his finger on the trigger. It's shaking ever so slightly. How much does she know? She has evidence. You hear a long sigh coming from the back seat. A few seconds go by. You try to concentrate on driving, despite your sweaty hands and dripping brow. Okay, why hasn't she tried to arrest me then? You shrug. Don't know. She told me it would be easier this way. I think she hopes you'll turn yourself in without a fight. He looks away. You know, Bousset is really one of a kind, but she doesn't fit into today's world. Neither do I, for that matter. The weapon he's holding is shaking slightly, wavering. You suddenly notice he's speaking to you in a more familiar tone. That's why I killed them. Jerks. All of them. Rapists, murderers, and liars who escape prosecution. Now Bousset liked to do the same thing I did. Slam a bullet into the head of the first murderer and she could get her hands on. But she can't. And you guys can't do that anymore. A long, painful, heavy sigh. In any case, now there's only one truth left. No more confrontation, no debate, no need for justice to be served. They were guilty, and I killed them. I can write that down if you want. It's no secret. I knew I'd be caught sooner or later, either by Bousset or by... Substance hangs in the air. I'm sick. Got cancer. All over. They hope some new drug might cure me. But what's the point, honestly? He abruptly accelerates his speaking pace. I don't want to go to jail. A cop can't go to jail. I don't want to see my face on the cover of magazines and newspapers. But I don't want to deny Bousset the pleasure of catching me. Her and her team. So here's what we're going to do. There's a place in Montmartre. A place I really love. It's my first memory of Paris. I must have been 6 or 7. My mother had come all the way to Martigny. She thought that she could convince my father to... Yeah, anyway, there's no point in telling that story. I want to hear it. He snickered. And buy yourself some time? No. There's a bench up there, not far from Sacré-Cœur. This bench has 2 clear advantages. First, it faces the city of Paris. Southern facing. All the monuments are there, staring back into splendor. He starts to speak with confidence. I especially like it when all the buildings poke out above the cloud of pollution. Notre Dame Square Towers, Pompidou and its colored pipes, the Eiffel Tower. He shakes his head and his voice sounds deep and serious again. The second advantage to sitting on the bench is that you have to turn your back to Sacré-Cœur, an ugly building. The only building to rub the church in the right way. He looks away and remains silent for a while. His hands shake a little. I want to see Paris one last time. It's a little too early to watch the sunrise, but at least there'll be people around. Lovers, life. I just want to go and sit on the bench, look out at Paris, alone, 5 minutes. And then you could go to the meeting point so Bousset can pick me up. What do you say? Okay. If I'm late... Oh no, don't worry about that. She'll understand. The thing is, he got a gun. You gotta remember, this boy got a gun. And I don't want to say no. I think you're gonna shoot me for saying no, but still. Okay. Okay. You turn around. You'll see. The view is incredible. No, he's gonna kill me either way, isn't he? Neither of you says a word for several minutes. You drive in silence. Then, as you're beginning to climb up to the top of Mont Martin, the cop lowers his weapon. I want to apologize. I'm sorry I hurt you the night of the attack. Everything could have turned out so differently. You're nothing like the guy I took down, you know? He was a kid at the time, but there was something in his eye. Something bad. Something evil. His eye sparkles for a bit. Tears, perhaps? Seconds later, you park a few meters from the Sacre Croix. The bench is right over there. I need 5 minutes. 5 minutes and we'll go. Got it? You nod.
Oh no, is he gonna take his life?
Don't do it. He lays his hand on the door handle and gives you a genuine smile. Do what? You're going to kill yourself, aren't you? He pauses. To be perfectly honest, I don't really know yet. The cop suddenly seems older than he really is. His voice croaks slightly as he says to you, "Thanks, friend." He gets out of the cab. You watch the old cop. He takes a few steps towards the bench. Walks around it like he wants to look at it from every angle. He doesn't so much as glance at Sacre Croix and its dome. Lit up in powerful flashlights, a few passersby, chilled to the bone, are wandering about nonchalantly on the square in the front. The cop finally sits on the bench. He stays there for a long minute, contemplating Paris. Strings of light weave around the traffic circles and intersections, making a magnificent canvas to the sudden movement. In a matter of seconds, he pulls the gun out of his pocket and up to his chin. A shot rings out. Thanks, friend. Those were his last words. Are you effing kidding me? No. Lieutenant Bousset watches you. Her jaws clenched, locked more like. What else did he say? He confessed to his crimes. The wire you put in the cab must have caught it all. You have the recording. Bousset stares at you a second before looking away. Crap! This is not how it was supposed to end! You're not clear on whether she's angry or sad. He talked about you. About me? What did he say? It's all in the recording. He said you were like him. Of course. The guy was my mentor. Father figure, actually. He taught me everything I know. That's why I slipped you his file. Couldn't investigate him. No one on the team wanted to either. It was unthinkable. Unfeasible. Damn. A semblance of smile spreads across her face. Awkward and strained, perhaps. It makes your blood curdle. You're free to go now. Don't leave the country, though. We might have some questions for you at some point. She opens the door. Icy air seeps in. You shiver. You really came through, you know. I didn't think you'd do so well. Her voice breaks up a bit with her last words. Who knew? She gets out of the cab and slams the door behind her. A blunt metallic noise. Unidentifiable vibrations. The car quakes and shakes like a boat. A minute goes by before you can move again. You slowly come back to your senses. I'm gonna stay a little longer. You sit there for a moment, contemplating the scene in front of you. Police squads are moving about, tape keeping the onlookers away. Spotlights flooding the judge's lifeless body with white light. It's hard to believe it's all over. You need to get away for a while. Drive without thinking. Distance yourself. A cop on the roadside waves his flashlight, motioning for you to leave. You have no reason to be there anymore. You become a stranger again. Key in the ignition, handbrake off, foot on the accelerator. You leave Sacre Coeur behind. Oh wow, that's Night Call. Yeah, I have no clue if he would have shot me if I said no to going to Sacre Coeur. But I wish there was like an option where you could say, give me your gun, you know. Not like he would just hand the gun right over. I wonder if every time, I doubt it, the 5 people, I don't think it's the same 5 people and it just changes every time. I think it's all those people. That's crazy. It could be literally anyone. Good game because every time it's different, and kind of upset they're taking it off. I would like to play it again. A lot of achievements to get too. Anything else? A toi la plus grande de toi la detective. A toi la quai de la toi. A toi la départ de femme. I can't read that. The sun is about to come up. You drove all night long with your window open and the radio tuned to the phantom frequency. Electric static kept you awake. You're so tired your chest is tight and your eyes are heavy, but you can't stop. Not now. You're going to run out of gas soon. The light went on for about 20 kilometers back. You're somewhere in Normandy. Maybe you'll run into the cat you gave a ride to one night. You smile and relax at the thought. You pull over onto the shoulder and get out. There's almost no traffic. You step over the guardrail as your eyes adjust to the colorful break of dawn. The sun will soon rise over the horizon. You get your phone out and dial a number. silent ring, direct to voicemail. A voice asks you to leave a message after the beep. Hey, I wanted to... You catch your own breath. When Hay told me she held on to your phone just to hear the sound of your voice, I thought it was stupid. But now, the sun is slowly rising, and its colors are flooding the landscape. Bare underbrush, a tiny village lost in a fog off in the distance, a hilltop sparkling with dew. The view seems alien to you. I wanted to thank you for giving me the opportunity to redeem myself. Thanks. The word disgusts you, but it's too late. Thanks to you, I did something important. I think. Who knows? Silence. Your head is spinning. You haven't spoken to your brother in years. Well, in a manner of speaking. You grin. Okay. I don't remember who Aid is. Your kids are good. I don't really, I guess I'd say I'm good, because I don't really know the kids, I don't know. I'm good. I guess so. It's strange to hear your voice, but it feels good too. You pause. A truck flies by, just meters from you. I thought when it was all over, I thought I'd be able to get some decent sleep. Close my eyes and sleep. Really sleep. Finally. Sleeping is just a break. It doesn't put an end to it. It all starts up again as soon as... The voice cuts you off.
You have reached the maximum time limit. Please.
You hang up. Your phone feels heavy in your hand. What should you do now? There's a broken fence in front of you, leading to a small footpath into the woods. Behind you is the highway leading to the sea. Wait, does disappear mean take my life? We're gonna get back in the car. You sigh and retrace your steps. On the other side of the guardrail, you find your overheated cab. The next gas station can't be much further. You slowly turn the key in the ignition. There's gotta be something for you. Out there. Sorry, my... What timing. That's crazy. My controller died and I had trouble with the batteries. And at the same time, finished the game. What? The timing is crazy. Okay, well that was Night Call. And can I load it? I wonder where it left off. 39. Yeah, I want to see if, like, let me click this. Let's see where I left off. Wait, did it say night 6? Oh, I'm not gonna do all this again. I thought I said night 7. Yeah, it's night 6. I'm not gonna bother. Let's just look at the Pasidex. Can I do that in got a lot with him actually. Boss. Alright, well there's all these other characters I still have to meet. And the game, like I said, disappears in under an hour, so I can't, unless I bought the game, can't play this right now no more. But yeah, it was, I enjoyed it. It's free roaming. Let's just explore a little bit. Oh, it's okay. What are you doing? Just meeting people? Let's meet some new people. I wonder if they get included just because I met them here in free roaming, or it doesn't count. Let's go to him. I don't know.
Also, guys, suicide is never the answer.
I feel like I should put that out there. When you see your next passenger, your first instinct is to prepare yourself for a fight. It's almost automatic. Something about the way she holds herself. Oh, I know the guy, sorry. Her super wide shoulders, her huge hands opening the door. This woman must be a champion, weightlifter or something. Good evening, sir. You're not particularly surprised by her low voice. Okay, low voice, sorry. But there's something incredibly gentle about the way she looks at you. Could you please drive around the outer belt? In which direction? For a second she hesitates, raises his finger in the air. Clockwise. Like that, right? You smile. Okay. Super. She settles into a back seat. You start driving. The taxi leaves its parking spot and starts up an avenue down a boulevard. A few minutes of calm and silent driving, you get to the outer belt. You're probably wondering why I want you to do this, aren't you? What's going on takes over her face. None of my business. That's the kind of driver you are? You just drive without knowing why? You don't care? More or less. That's commendable. After an impressively long pause, staring your passenger's face, takes another yawn. I couldn't do your job. I think I'd be too aggressive with the passengers. The light on the outer belt lights line up with the dashboard. Your passenger blinks. I don't know if it's the lights, the way they're placed, or if they're back and forth between the tunnel and the bridges. I don't quite know what makes me. The outer belt puts me to sleep. So tonight I cleaned out most of my colleagues playing tarot. I'm treating myself to a little. She smiles, all while closing her eyes. The enormous woman on your back seat begins to snore. You smile and keep driving without so much as another word. Little by little, her snoring subsides and gives way to bits and phrases she's unaware of mumbling. Cookie! Cookie! Hand me the cookie! Your passenger wakes up abruptly. Take me home. I'm ready for bed. She falls asleep again as you exit the outer belt to bring her home. In back, discreet, peaceful, hypnotic snoring. You shake your head in an attempt to push away from your own violent desire to sleep. Many long minutes later, you return to the pickup point. With her eyes still shut, your passenger takes a wallet out of her pocket. You know, I can't sleep because I'm consumed. Consumed with an idea. She opens her eyes. The world we live in, our current situation, it could all be taken care of it if I took a gun, shot a pile of lead into our government. You can't believe your ears. Lined them up against the wall, one after the other, and bam, 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 bam. She smiles, her fingers reach out with cash. Then I would sleep soundly. But only if our president, our government, only if they were all lying at the bottom of a mass grave. Unmarked, no gravestone, in total and utter indifference. That's what scares the most, not leaving any mark behind. As slow as humanly possible, she hands you a bill. Thank you for everything. You are perfect. She gently opens the door and slides outside. She closes it behind her and walks towards her place without a word, almost like she were sleepwalking. When she shuts the door to her building, you get back to your night, just dying to sleep. It's a mood. Alright, just want to check the Passadex if she was included. Is this her? Chantal. That was her, right? Yes, it had to be her. My memory is so bad. We just spoke to her and I forgot her name already? Well, it says 6:15 and there's no time, but I'm pretty sure that was today. Right now. Okay. Wait, how many is this? 6 by 15. So that's 60. How many do I have? I have 24. If I counted correctly, I have 24. 60 divided by...
Let me check the achievements real quick.
$25%, so a quarter of 16. Wouldn't that be 15? Why did I not get... I don't know if my math's off or I'm just so tired. obviously I'm not even gonna bother. One more guy. Only because this guy looks like Jacksepticeye.
Pull up to the sidewalk and pick up the passenger who ordered a cab. You can just make him out, surrounded by 5 or 6 cops, an all too familiar scene. Every so often, the low ominous tones of an officer makes it to your ear. The circle of cop breaks up. You see a passenger. He heads over to the cab and gets in. He slams the door and lets rip.
Damn cops.
He gives you his address and you stop the car. The passenger stares at the window at the passing roads as if to calm himself. Take a quick look in the rearview mirror.
Everything alright? Yeah, sure. They're afraid to lay a finger on us nowadays. Don't want to get blown up.
An ironic half smile appears on his face, then immediately disappears. He knows a bad joke when he hears one.
What a pain in the butt. Can't go out without getting screwed by each and every one of those son of a guns. If you're not wearing a goddamn beret, if you happen to be wearing sweatpants, then yeah, right, you're in the hood.
He smirks wryly and then raises his voice in an octave.
Your papers, please.
He sighs, his voice back to normal.
Yeah, sure. Shove your aunt's schlong up your damn butt, buddy. Always the same old thing, isn't it?
The passenger looks at you and lets out a bitter laugh.
You can say that again. Even the Arabs treat us like crap when they're wearing a uniform.
A slow smile spreads over his face.
And you know what's worse?
He pulls a paper back out of his jacket pocket. The Count of Monte Cristo. I got an achievement for that.
I would like to see the musical.
By Alexander Dumas.
They wouldn't believe it was my book.
He returns in his pocket right away. For a second you wonder if you imagined it.
First thing they asked me was where I had stolen it. You know, like there's no way I could own a book. Then the jerks took the book and flipped through it, every single page, to make sure I wasn't hiding anything, like hash or some other crap.
He flinches. Something in his features breaks. A crack appears. He's trying not to show it, but you see what's going on. Can't help it. The inner struggle. The humiliation. The sense of shame.
Just a book. You like it?
He looks up.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a revenge story, like all the Hollywood movies we download so we don't have to pay for a ticket. Except that it takes place 200 years ago. And yeah, it's good. It really sucks what happens to the hero guy, and he spends the whole book planning his revenge big time. The guy's pretty messed up.
He catches your eye in the rearview mirror. You realize he's not all worked up anymore.
It's my girlfriend who gave it to me. She likes Dumas? Yeah, I think so. She's into all that historical stuff. Wait, how am I supposed to read this? To me, it was a real drag at first, but
He lets out a sigh.
I don't know how I was supposed to read that. She forced me a little, and then when I realized that Monte Cristo, he's one of us. I mean, his story. It's a lot like what goes on today. But I introduced her to new stuff too. There are these texts, rap lyrics, that she really likes. You should see her putting on a show and all. But the truth is she actually likes it. And the same thing with reading, right? I mean, it had to be properly explained to me. I had to want to try it. And that was it, man. I was on my way.
He looks down.
But it's pretty crazy, even so. I'm actually reading a book. Still can't believe it. The book and my girlfriend. His eyes sparkle. Some chicks really change your life, don't they?
You nod your head slowly. You pull up at the address given by your fare. He lets out a sigh.
You know, man, I don't know why the hell I just told you all that. No worries. Must be a real bummer. All these guys telling you their life stories.
The passenger passes you money for the ride.
I have to go. I punch in early tomorrow.
He pauses, eyeing the time on the radio's LCD display.
Or later on, I should say.
A moment later, he vanishes into the night. Well, at least I got an achievement out of that. Where is... Right here, right? Now this I remember.
Oh, it's one away from getting all of his unlockable stats.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna play till an hour. One, maybe two more. It's gonna be you or you. Let's do her. You pull up in front of La Pierre, a starred restaurant you heard a lot about. Two women are waiting out in front, standing a ways apart. The first one is one of your suspects. You recognize her face right away. She's connected to the hedge fund that managed the Albatross apartment building that burned down. The second woman, you've never seen her before. She's wearing pajamas. She has a dumb smile on her face. They hug each other goodbye in an oddly distant way. The first leans over to your window. We're going in two different directions. Cold, blunt voice. You can tell by her tone she's trying to impress the other woman. I'm going to Saint Germain, and she's going to Etoile. Avenue de la Grande Armée. Both women look at each other. Go ahead. It's better you go first. You might catch a cold otherwise. You sure? Completely. Your friend comes over and opens the door. Thanks for tonight. I really needed someone to talk to. Felt good to finally be able to say my thoughts exactly. I'm going to think about your offer and I'll call you, okay? A woman getting a cab gives you her address. She waves to her friend on the sidewalk. We start driving and glance in the rearview mirror. She's wearing makeup, but her hair is a mess. The coat she's wearing is obviously very expensive and covering some kind of a polar fleece pajamas. She turns to you with an odd look on her face. Having a good evening? You nod, slightly surprised by her tone. She sounds like she just won the millions by playing the lottery.
Mostly calm.
Ah, this is a pretty quiet neighborhood.
The restaurants around here close late. That helps.
She nods slowly. Actually, I was just at La Pierre. What an incredible restaurant. Do you know it?
I've heard of it.
Oh, yeah? She seems genuinely interested.
We tend to find a lot of good spots like that. Dropping tourists off, or picking them up. Handy.
Her smile is starting to make you uncomfortable. Yeah, I was thinking you must, meet all sorts of people.
All shapes and forms, yes.
Must be refreshing. Night after night, new faces, new stories.
You look like you're in an awfully good mood.
Yes.
Her face lights up.
Yes, actually. Fabulous evening. Excellent restaurant, great wine. Not to mention a winning plan.
A plan?
Yes, a plan. A scheme. A plot of sorts, if you prefer. She leaned forward slightly. Tell me, have you ever wanted to take revenge? Her attitude suddenly seemed scary. Your blood freezes. Before you can react, she continues. I recommend it. It's an absolutely incredible sensation. I've never felt so good. She heaves a satisfied sigh. The woman you saw back there? Her name is Anita. A few months ago, she destroyed everything I built for myself. When my father passed away 10 years ago, I found myself in charge of his candy business. Tiny shop, a horrendous kitchen. I had to fire half the people on payroll. Poured every cent I had into it. Got into organic local products. 2 years later, I had 7 boutiques in and around Paris. 14 total in France. Les Confrères de Mourasse. You ever heard of them?
Yes.
She acknowledges your answer. Pleased that you know her brand is well known. Well, it's all me. Her face closed over for a second. I mean, it was all me. Since it was such a huge success, since we needed to open more and more shops, I looked for investors. Little by little, my tiny business became a huge, and I had to add more people to my board, and that's how I met Anita. Her voice reminds you of an Arctic wind. Anita and her investment fund sounds like the title of a children's book, but a twisted, unsavory one. She sighs again, sadly this time. I was fired from my own company 4 months ago.
Is that even possible?
I'm living proof it is. She smiles warmly at you. When they gave me the boot, I pretended to save face. I pretended it was the best thing for me and my family. More time to spend with my children. She takes a long pause. I lied. She looks away. I felt so ashamed, like I was less than human. A dirty rag you throw out without a second thought. She snickers. You have a moment of doubt about her and one of your suspects. The very next day, I was contacted by an association fighting to prevent tax fraud, and she stops talking when she sees a confused expression on your face. It's complicated. I'm sort of a Trojan horse, pretending to want to sell my remaining shares to pull them into a trap. Tonight, after hesitating for weeks, she finally took the bait. I feel like a spy dressed like a bum. She points to her pajamas, her boots, her hair. The look on the waiter's face when he saw me. She giggles. I gave Anita an Oscar-winning performance. Told her I wanted to.
Give me a second. I had Google thought I said Google. No, Google. Shut up, Google. Okay.
I gave Anita an Oscar-winning performance. Told her I wanted to sell what I still had, get the hell out of the crappy country. But then I wanted things to be handled discreetly, without making a fuss, without having to pay out the nose. And she said okay, asked me to contact her specialist. She bursts out laughing. My plan works! Les Confrères de Mourasse will disappear!
And you're okay with that?
I have no choice. Them or me. Anita and the Gros Demont must be stopped. They're involved in all sort of shady deals. Tax exile, offshore accounts, maybe worse. I'll do everything I can to bring her down, and... She waves her hand to put an end to her conversation. She noticed something down the street. I could use a drink. Actually, I need a drink. She points to a bar, well-lit windows with a dark red and green lights inside. Stop here. You pull over and your passenger pays her fare. She slips you a small tip with a smile on her lips.
Sorry.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good work. Excellent work. She quickly gets out of the cab. Doors slam, followed by the same silence that comes after each passenger. You lean.
Oh my god, why does it gotta get so scary when I get the achievement?
You lean over to catch a glimpse of her. Her get-up makes an impression on some of the people in the bar. She walks straight up to the bar and raises her fingers with the kind of confidence only a regular can have. You sigh. You turn the key in ignition and start driving. Okay, I think I have time for one more.
You know, I wanna look how many people I need to get 25%. I still don't understand the whole future when I played the game and the real game, and then there was this lady from the future. And I just don't understand what was that all about. September 18th, 2049. Wow, it takes 150 to 200 hours to unlock all of the achievements. Yeah, I don't have that much time on my hands to play this game of all games. Now I have to decide what game I want to play next. I want to play Sims eventually, but I'm probably not gonna live stream that. And I'm afraid once I make it, and then they're gonna take it off the market, and I'm gonna lose my Sims and everything, you know? Should I do one more? I don't know. I don't have anybody calling out to me per se. Okay, last one I guess.
The door opens and Inez passenger. A woman jumps into the back seat. Rue de la Vie. Her voice is shaking. Her mind is elsewhere. Please. You start driving in the rearview mirror. You notice your passenger is shivering. She's clenching a rose in her hand, like it might otherwise fly away. Nation.
You want me to turn the heat up?
She doesn't hear your question.
Miss?
No.
No?
No. I said no.
No heat?
She finally looks at you. He asked me to marry him and I said no. He had everything planned. He put a ring in a champagne flute and I said no. She blinks her eyes very slowly. I don't know why I said no. Why? Her expression becomes scornful, aggressive.
You don't like him?
Maybe. I don't love him? She looks hard at you for a second. No. No! We've been together since senior year. No. That can't be it. something so strong between us, like a song. She realizes what she's saying doesn't make much sense. Sorry, really, she looks back quite quickly, her voice breaks. I have to go back to the restaurant. Getting married is what I've always wanted. So why did I say no? You get the impression she's shrinking. She looks tiny and fragile in the rearview mirror. Crap. I just said crap. Her face looks like she's been in a brutal accident. We have to turn around. Now.
Are you sure?
She raises her voice. Of course I'm sure. She's practically screaming. What a... She stops just in time. Shuts her mouth and looks away. She doesn't look at you. I am so sorry. I'm not myself tonight.
No worries.
Really, I'm sorry. I don't know who I am. She's putting on airs now. I'm a total wreck. Like someone shook me. Like... Please, turn the cab around.
Will do.
Thanks. But she decides not to finish her sentence after all. As soon as you can, you turn around. In the back seat, the passenger can bear to look at you. She studies her hands instead. You drive on in silence. It's strange. You like the odd feeling of going back over the same road. Everything seems so different. The buildings have different perspective. You see them in a new and unexpected light. The passerbys are no longer the same. They've been replaced by others. The lights are on a different cycle, like they know you're coming back. A few seconds later, without noticing the ground you cover, you pull over in front of the restaurant you came from. She throws you a shy, almost indiscernible smile. Can I ask you a favor? You nod slowly. Don't ever repeat what I said.
Of course.
In a whisper, she adds, thanks. She pays her fare, gets out of the cab, walks up to the restaurant. She's trying to catch someone's eye. She stands like that for a minute on tiptoe, her head leaning towards the dining room. Then she walks into the restaurant. Her rose is left behind in the doorway. Another minute to think about her beautiful gown, her words, how she shook. Getting married. For a second you try to remember your own marriage proposal. It all seemed so far away. So very far away. And you turn the key in ignition and drive away. Okay, I think that's it. I was hoping to get the achievement, but apparently not. And I don't want to be like, oh, I was like one away. Okay, let's... Give me a second. I really have no clue how many I would need. Let me look it up real quick. Because this doesn't make sense. 4 is 15. 15 would be 25%. No. 3. Okay, 3. Oh, wait. So that's 3, that's 6, 3, 12, 3, 15. Yes. So 15 times 3, that's 6. Oh, my math is way off. I accidentally. Okay, so 90. 90 divided by 4 is 22.5. Now let's see how many we have. 3, 4, so that's 7. 4, 5, 6. That's 13, right? 3 and 3. So that's 13 plus the 6, right? Is 19. Plus the 4? Yeah, but that's over 22 and a half. Plus the 4. I guess it doesn't matter because it's not the real game. I don't know. Plus the 4 of the 19, right? So that's 23. Plus another 4. It's 27. Correct? I think. I don't know. Alright, well that was Nightcall. Recommend the game. I'll be looking for a new game to play. I don't know when I'll get around to another game to play. I'm not sure what I'm gonna play yet. But I'll think about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope to see you all again in another video. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye.